Right, so in this video we're going to look at how to work out the volume of a prism. Now a prism is a 3D solid that has the same cross-section all through its length. So you can see along the top here I've got some prisms, and each of these shapes has got a cross-section. I've highlighted it in yellow for you, and all the way through that shape you could have that same cross-section. Okay, imagine that this is some bread and you're cutting it up into slices, and each slice is the same shape. Okay, and you can do that for all these different shapes because they are what we call prisms. Okay, so here I'd have a trapezium shaped slice of bread. Okay, here it's on its side, and I'd have a triangular slices of bread. Okay, so your slice that's the same all the way through, that's called your cross section. Okay, right, we'll come back to that in a second. First, let's have a little think about this, right? You know that for a cuboid, to work out the volume of it, you have to multiply the length times the width times the depth. Okay, we're multiplying three lengths together, aren't we? And they're all perpendicular. Now actually, you might also know that when you multiply length times length, say for like a rectangle, base times height, it gives you the area. And so we could also say that area multiplied by length also gives us volume. Okay, provided that this length is perpendicular to this area. Okay, so we can apply that to these shapes here. If I can work out the cross-sectional area, if I multiply that by the length of the shape, then that will give me the volume of that shape. Okay, so let's have a look at an example. So here I've got a prism. The cross section is a trapezium. I know this is a trapezium because it's got two parallel sides. And so what I need to do is work out the area of that trapezium and then multiply it by this length here, how deep the shape goes. So let's try and remember what the formula was for the area of a trapezium. It was a half a plus b multiplied by the perpendicular height, and we're going to multiply that area by this length of how long the shape is. Okay, length. Yeah. Okay, so let's put some numbers in. So half of, so A and B, there are parallel edges, so this length here and this length here, so we've got 3 and 5. So 3 plus 5. We're going to multiply that by the perpendicular height, which is 3. And then we're going to multiply this by the length of the shape, which was 2. Okay, so let's try and do some of this in our head so we don't have to write loads out. So 3 plus 5, what's that? That's 8. What's half of 8? Half of 8 is 4. 4 times 3 is 12, and 12 times 2 is 24. So my answer is 24 centimeters cubed. Okay, it's a volume, centimeters cubed. Right, there's some questions I've got here. I wonder if you want to pause the video and have a go and see if you can work out the volume of each of these shapes, and then I will write down what the answers are. Okay, so why don't you pause the video now. Okay, I'm going to go through the answers very quickly. The first one, you should have got 180 centimeters cubed. Okay, the second one, you should have got 360 centimeters cubed. Oops. For the third one, you should have got 187.2 centimeters cubed. And for the fourth one, 144 centimeters cubed. Okay, and that is the volume of a prism.
Joash Maths.